Hello everyone, I'm very happy to have with me Dr. Tanvi Bindal. She is a proud DAMSonian and she secured an amazing rank 19 in November AIIMS 2019 postgraduate examination. So Arushi, very well done bache. How do you feel?
Amazing, like extremely delighted. I cannot even express right now how happy I am.
I can see that in your eyes, yes, that how happy you are and how overwhelming it is for you. Right. So Tanvi has been a foundation classroom student and has followed up with test and discussion this year as well. Right. So Tanvi, let's ask, because people would want to know what was your strategy to prepare for AIIMS. So हमने जब शुरुआत की, what was in your mind, how to go about it?
So finally I started from third year. I did the foundation course. Then I did T&D this year. So my basic rule was actually whatever DAMS tell you, you have to strictly adhere to that only. Okay. Like if DAMS tell you that you have to do this course in 2 weeks, you have to do this subject in 2 weeks, then you have to strictly adhere to that. Okay. Do not leave anything pending. Like go through the theory and solve the MCQs as well, and also attempt the paper in those 2 weeks only. Okay. And if there's something conceptual, or if you have to clear some concepts also, so just clear that at that time only. Okay. Do not think like I'll do that later on or nothing like that. Then I completed my first revision by the end of August along with T&D. Okay. After that, I think I did my second revision along with SWTs. Okay. So I used to solve the SWT. Great. And then I used to read that subject from my notes only.
And yes, because SWTs actually cover most of the previous year questions.
Exactly. So I used to see that what are the topics that I'm making mistakes often, and what are the topics that have been repeated again and again, because you cannot make any mistake in those topics. Yes. You have to be very thorough with those topics.
So if I may just interrupt you here, it means in your second revision, your plan was first to find out what are most high yielding topics for the exam. Right.
And I think if you keep following all the e-medicos and the FB DAMS page, then you'll have a fair idea of what are the important topics.
Right.
So by the end of first revision, I kind of knew what are the topics that I have to know. Okay. Then second revision was AIIMS oriented. All right. So I did like 1 month of revision, which was specially for AIIMS. So I used to solve the 3 years papers, which was in e-medicos. Okay. And after that, I used to read those topics from my notes. Great. And along with that, I also used to look at the AIIMS capsule video, which was, I think, very high yielding, because I think if everything that came up in like last 3 years was covered up in that 1 to 2 hour video. Yes. So I think that's like the best thing you can have from DAMS.
And especially for quick revision and making it more high yielding.
You can also, I think, look up at the AIIMS capsule in the last 2 to 3 days.
Right. ओके अब तन्वी इसको थोड़ा ब्रॉड करते हैं होराइजन जैसे हमने तैयारी करी सो आई वुड वांट टू आस्क कि व्हेन यू डू द क्लासेस राइट एंड यू आर सिटिंग इन अ क्लास व्हाट इज योर गोल और डू यू थिंक इट वाज गुड फॉर conceptual clearing and giving you a good set of notes?
Ma'am, the notes that you make with your own hands, you cannot like have that kind of thing with the photocopied notes. Right. Like during third year, I was like a little less serious for preparation. So I just made my notes, but at least the biggest advantage was I was able to at least do well in profs with those notes.
And your work was sort of half done because you already have the matter that you're going to...
Basics. I had my basics cleared. Right. Then after that, I think you should take a very good advantage from the T&Ds, because you have revised everything in the 2 weeks, and then when you listen like almost the same things from a teacher who's telling you, it actually helps you build up more with all that.
अच्छा बहुत सारी बार तन्वी people don't know how to do what to do post a T&D. For example, you gave a test today, and
what I used to do was I used to like go back home and whatever new that has been taught, because that new is basically most probably that is like a previous year paper most probably. Right. Like I realized it very late that whatever that has been taught in T&D was mostly paper from AIIMS or PJ only. Those topics were covered mostly. So I used to go back home. I used to read the new stuff at night only. Like I used to give 4 to 5 hours at that topic, and then I used to like wind up that topic and then begin with the new subject from next day.
Okay, great. And also I want to know, हमने GTs कब देने शुरू किए तन्वी?
First of all, I think I gave CBT 2. That was the first GT I gave. Okay. And then I started, because initially it's actually beneficial, but I started in mid-July.
Yes, because you feel कि course नहीं हुआ है.
Basic, I thought basic तो आना ही चाहिए
हाँ
to
जी.
give a GT.
Right.
But then after that, I gave GTs very regularly, like
Alright.
once a week. Or there are days actually when you don't feel like studying, so just sit and give a GT.
And they keep the momentum going.
Exactly.
And they give you a good insight. So you're
exactly. If you don't feel like studying, do something.
I
just
think
don't
that's
be
a
like,
very important suggestion that she's made. That sometimes you're just tired to study,
exactly,
in a day because of whatever exhaustion that you feel.
Yeah.
And the advantage is when you give that paper, I think it'll recharge you as well. Ki utho aur padho aur
exactly.
ye dekho.
And actually, you realize that there are so many things that you don't know, and that you have to now start studying seriously. Well, initially 2 to 3 months, it was like that only.
Yes, yes.
So I was like, no, I have to study more. Because initially I didn't get good ranks in GTs also, but
Okay.
then it kind of motivated me to study more and to work more hard.
So I think she said again a very important point that I would like to highlight. You know, a lot of times people will not give GTs, thinking that if I get a bad rank, it demotivates me. But look at her. She has seen the positive side of it. She's seen that tells me what I am weak at and what I should do, and she worked upon it rather than taking it as in a negative sense and not
Exactly.
doing it. So I think that's very, very positivity.
And it's not
is
just
very
that.
important.
The topics that have been covered in GTs are the most important topics.
Okay.
These, I mean, even if I was giving the AIIMS exam and I was actually like, oh my god, this has been taught in
Yes, yes.
somewhere or other, it
Right.
has been taught by DAMS.
Yes, so the idea is that at least some of the questions should come as a reflex. Yes,
Exactly.
in the main exam. You shouldn't have to think too much
Because
for every
there are so
question.
many questions, you have to solve like 300, almost 300 questions
Yes,
now in 3 hours.
288 we had this time. Yeah.
So at least you should know a few questions beforehand so
Yes.
that you can spend more time on the tricky questions.
Absolutely. And not just that, once these questions come to you as a reflex from the class notes or something that you've done,
It gives you a motivation that yes, we can do this.
You're very
exam.
positive with the paper
Yes,
itself
yes.
then. Right, okay. And Tanvi, अब मुझे बताओ क्योंकि बच्चों को रिविजन में भी समझ में नहीं आता है कि how to go about it. So, as you said, you finished your TND course with us in August.
Yes,
What was your strategy post that time?
Again, like I told you that I did SWTs.
Yes, okay.
And then I revised that subject. But I
Okay.
used to pick one subject, like today I'll do pharma or path. So I used to do SWT regarding that, and then the important topics I used to cover.
Okay.
If there was something which was, I thought, volatile or which I couldn't recall again and again, so I used to write that on a paper. I used to make a list of that thing.
Great.
And then I used to like stick that paper on the wall of mine.
Okay.
So basically every subject has a few volatile topics. So make a list or prepare something, like write it in a notebook or something.
Wonderful.
And for the last few days, save it for that. Like for last few days, I think in last 2 to 3 days, I revised those volatile topics. For example, genes in path,
Yes,
and that
yes.
actually came in exam also. And I just spent like 1 second solving that.
Because it was handwritten and you knew
Exactly.
that you have to sort of do it, and you
So
did
if-
it just a day or two before the
Exactly.
exam.
So if there's
Right.
anything volatile, so just keep it for the last moment revision.
Right. I think that's again a very good point. Making these lists is important. You know, you can sort of subdivide that these are the topics that are volatile and these are the topics that I'm weak at, so that you know that
Exactly.
you have to spend a little more time on these areas so as to improve your positive
And there'll be
marks.
topics in which you'll make mistakes again and again. For
Yes.
example, amenorrhea.
Yes.
I used to make mistakes every time. So I read that in AIIMS capsule. I made notes of that.
Yes.
And then that was like clear then. कि इसके बाद अब I'm not gonna make mistake again in
Yes,
that.
yes.
So anything, just recognize those subjects in
Great.
which you're weak at and make notes of that. Spend more time on those topics because those topics are actually important. You just cannot ignore one topic कि ये तो शायद नहीं आएगा, छोड़ देते हैं, nothing like that.
अच्छा, एक और चीज़ हम थोड़ा elaborately पूछते हैं आपसे. हम रिविजन की बात करें. So a lot of students want to know what was your revision cycle? I mean, how many days for how many subjects,
Okay,
or
so
what was your
initially,
planning?
I think I completed the subject by August. Mid-August, I did TND.
Okay.
So I think I spent around 1.5 to 2 months during my first revision because
Okay.
first revision takes time.
Yes, definitely.
So mostly it was like lengthy, like subjects like gynecology, surgery, medicine took 3 to 4 days, but
Okay.
don't panic, it's okay. And short
Right.
subjects took like 1 day or something. So it was variable per subject.
Okay.
But try to complete the first revision by I think 1.5 to 2 months. I think
Okay.
maximum. And then second revision again, that was like थोड़ी specific revision because that was AIIMS
हाँ,
oriented.
सो मैं अभी और पूछूंगी क्योंकि अभी और एग्जाम भी आ रहे हैं नीट और बहुत सारे बच्चे उसकी भी तैयारी कर रहे हैं एंड दिस इज द टाइम व्हेन दे नीड टू फोकस ऑन रिविजन
Exactly.
एंड सो मेनी टाइम्स द स्टूडेंट डजंट अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट टू रिवाइज right? So I think she's saying that close to the exams you go more specific,
More specific.
in your revisions, which means rather than trying to do the bulk of it, identify areas and then sort of revise them. और अगर कोई आपसे ये पूछेगा चारुषी areas फिर identify कैसे करने हैं? I know these are repeated. It's the same question, but that's how the juniors would put it across to you.
Again, I think GTs and SWTs, the
And your class tests. Yes.
very
so
important.
you have to realize this. बेटा कि इन्हीं चीजों में वही चीजें
Initially realize नहीं होता है, but after you give that exam, you're like, oh my god, that was so important, and everything वही same आता है. Like you will be like, मतलब initially even I used to listen to the interviews and I'm like, सही में same कैसे आ सकता है? But after that, when you're done with the preparation, you'll realize that there are topics which are very important, and you have to actually focus on those topics only.
Right. And then, how important do you think were the image-based questions this time in AIIMS? There were significant number of image-based questions.
I think more than images, they were videos.
Okay.
And a few videos were actually useless because in assertion reasoning, we were given videos. And I was like, there was no point. There was a video of a person who was getting intubated.
Okay.
And I don't think there was a point of that. But exactly like everybody told in the faculty have already told us that there are few pictures which are very important, but कभी-कभी होता है कि question देख के वो answer solve हो जाता है. You don't have to panic.
So if your theory content is well, you can always approach the MCQ and always by ruling out certain options as well.
And most of the images have been covered in the class or in the DVT.
Right.
So don't panic about the images.
And do you think DVT had a good hit rate this time?
Absolutely. I did DVT in the last 2 to 3 days.
Okay.
And I found it very helpful.
Great, that's great. And how important was giving CBT, bache?
Ma'am, CBT, matlab, I don't know, matlab, it was like the best thing that the DAMS could actually help us get this. I mean, CBT 2, I gave CBT 2 initially, but I didn't get a good rank that day.
Okay.
But then I was like, syllabus bacha hai, so I can do better.
Great.
Then CBT 3, I got a good rank. So that was, at that time, actually, I was like, I can prepare for AIIMS. I've got a good rank here. I might get good rank in AIIMS also.
So it give you a good positive vibe, right?
And even if you don't get a good rank, I think the environment that you get there, that is very useful.
Right. It simulates, so you know, and also the time management is...
Also, you'll have anxiety while giving exam. While giving AIIMS, I had a lot of anxiety. But again, after giving CBT, that anxiety level, I think, reduced.
Okay, great. So, that's great. अच्छा, और तन्वी अगर कोई पूछेगा कि close to the exam 2-3 दिन पहले what should you read?
I actually read AIIMS capsule.
Okay.
And the list that I have already told about.
Yes, your volatile topics that you did. Yes.
And I think if you have time, definitely watch DVT videos also.
Okay, and they are short videos actually.
They're very short. Like it will take I think 1 day, like less than 1 day to cover all the 19 subjects.
Yes. Right. And अब मुझे थोड़ा सा exam strategy के बारे में बताओ तन्वी. There are SBAs, there are new pattern questions. So if somebody is really replicating, wants to be in your position, how did you approach the paper itself? Because those 3 hours are very important.
My strategy was actually, first of all, I gave AIIMS mock.
Okay.
So that was very helpful. I got to know exactly how much time I have to spend on the questions. So my basic strategy was spend ample time on the single best questions because those are very scoring. But it should not be like keep usi pe time laga rahe ho and then you finally end up leaving your paper.
Yes.
So you have to reach towards the end. You have to complete all the questions and then you should have at least 5 minutes in the end to come back and review the questions.
Right.
So I spent like, I think the single best questions were kind of tricky. So this time I spent like 2 hours in the single best and last 60 minutes I did the new pattern questions.
Okay. On new pattern, maybe was there an order in which you approached the questions?
I did my paper exactly in that same order in which it was given.
In the same order. Okay.
Because
so
I didn't want to waste my time on choosing the topics.
Right.
So I was like, just order mein aa raha hai. You can be very careful in the sequential questions because that is like +1, -1.
Yes.
So if you want
a lot of negative marking.
If you want, you can do those questions towards the end, but that's up to you.
Right.
That won't matter much.
And was time management a problem? But I think you've given plenty of grand tests and mock tests.
And the mock test really helped me.
Okay.
So I was kind of sure about the time management. But there was time when I used to leave the questions.
Yes.
Initially when I was giving grand tests, but I think with practice you'll learn how to manage your time.
Okay, great. And अब मुझे पूछना है कि how many questions do you think one should attempt?
I attempted personally, I think out of 289 I left I think 15 to 16 questions.
Okay.
So I think you should attempt at least you should leave at least like you can leave 20 questions.
Okay.
But you have to be in the race.
Yes.
So you just cannot be very safe.
Yes.
And
Because-
honestly, there were so many questions which I did with my instincts, or I guessed, or by ruling out.
Yes.
And finally I found them to be correct.
Correct.
So
Because those are
if your
not just
preparation is
guesses,
well,
they are well
intelligent
informed.
guesses,
Yes, they are, you've used your other knowledge
exactly.
to sort of rule
if your
out.
preparation is well, I think your guesses would also work.
Yeah,
It's not like that
that's true.
a random or a blind guess.
That's it's not inky tinky ponky, right?
Exactly.
Okay, and now Tanvi, okay, if I ask you, or if I may ask you, what are the prerequisites, or maybe the most important ingredients to get a good rank in the central institutes?
Have faith in yourself, have faith in DAMS faculty. Like, there'll be times when you would want to give up. Okay,
Yeah.
so just wake up every day and think that I can do this and I will do this.
Yes.
I will achieve this, and this is my dream and I have to achieve this. And also,
That's
like,
true.
please do not follow other guidebooks or anything else. Whatever DAMS faculty is telling you is actually very important. Just keep believing in them, keep believing in yourself, and I think you would definitely do this. It's not that difficult. If I can do this, I think everybody can do this.
That's very, very sweet of you. Great. And something motivating that you want to say to your juniors?
Ma'am, I think it's like, just do this. I mean, it's not time to think about what the mistakes you have made in past.
Yeah.
Just learn from those mistakes and keep doing it, and keep moving forward, and keep working hard. All the hard work would definitely pay off someday, and you will definitely get good ranks.
That's a wonderful, wonderful advice that, everybody will do mistakes, but our idea should be to learn from them and not to repeat them. That's a wonderful advice. And what branch do you want to pursue, Bacha?
I'm kind of confused. Probably pediatrics or obs-gynae. I haven't decided yet.
Right. I am sure whichever branch you will take, you will excel in it and you will
Thank you,
do great. And we wish a very bright future for you ahead. Thank you so much for being here with us. It was a pleasure. God bless you. Thank you.
ma'am.